Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to highlight, yes, more Steam game deals because there's a ton of great stuff right now. Gonna go under $10 for this video, and still a ton of great stuff at that price. So let's just get right into it, and let's start things off with a couple of Resident Evil games. First of all, we have Resident Evil 2, 75% off for $9.99, a tremendous remake that really set the tempo for Resident Evil remakes going forward. While I wouldn't say the RE2 remake is as good as the RE4 remake, look, they're both absolutely tremendous. There's a reason why it has 87,000 Steam reviews, and 97% of those reviews are positive. It's a tremendous, tremendous remake, and in fact, a lot of the people that worked on the RE2 remake actually also worked on the RE4 remake. So you can see that quality absolutely shines through for $9.99 if you're just looking to get into Resident Evil. I know RE4 still being $60 might be a little bit of a hard sell, but this at $9.99 is a tremendous deal. Go check that out. And then also, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is down to $7.99. This is another quality Resident Evil game, and really brought Resident Evil back to the forefront because everybody knows what happened with Resident Evil 6, not the greatest game in the world, and really invoked that horror element that Resident Evil had been missing for a little bit, but a great game here as well. $7.99 for the base game. They do have a bundle. It's the Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition and Village Gold Edition. That's $40, and then you can get the Gold Edition of RE7. That's $15.86. If you want to just get the base game, $7.99 for that, I think, is really good, so check that out. Next up, we got South Park: The Stick of Truth. Totally, a polar opposite to Resident Evil. I'm not a big watcher of South Park. I watched, the special that came out a few years ago. Have nothing against it. Just, haven't sat down and really watched it that much. But this game came out back in, I want to say 2013 or 2014, and it turned out to be exceptional. And obviously, if you're a South Park fan, you're gonna enjoy this game even more than I did, but the comedy hit home for me. The art style is great, and fundamentally, it's a really well-made RPG, and guess what? You should have expected that, given that it is Obsidian at the helm of developing this game, so that shines through as well. $7.49 for that is great, and definitely give that a look. It's just a really, really solid RPG, and a very comedic one at that. Next up, we got Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, 85% off for $8.99. A great action flight title, which I feel like is a little bit underrated as far as a genre is concerned, but hey, we're up to Ace Combat 7, so obviously people be liking these games. Over-the-top action gameplay. Story didn't really do anything for me, but from a gameplay standpoint, I think it's great. The soundtrack is tremendous, and if you want something over the top, if you like the idea of a flight action title, Ace Combat 7 will be right up your alley, and at this price point, really can't go wrong with that. Next up, we have XCOM 2 The Collection, 94% off for $8.17. Now, you can get the base XCOM 2 game for 90% off for $6. I would recommend to just get the collection because with this, you got War of the Chosen, the Reinforcement Pack, and the Resistance Warrior Pack. War of the Chosen is the big one here that adds a sizable amount of content and really can extend your experience. And remember, I'm not a big fan of tactics titles, but XCOM 2 was a game that I really, really enjoyed. Really, XCOM Enemy Unknown I really enjoyed, and then XCOM 2 just built upon that. So, $8.17 for this is fantastic, and a sizable amount of content for your investment. Next up, Devil May Cry 5, 67% off for $9.89. Great deal on Devil May Cry 5, a fantastic action title. Devil May Cry, I know a lot of people are super into the narrative. I never got into the story of Devil May Cry. I am here for the gameplay, the over-the-top action gameplay, and the tremendous, tremendous soundtrack. Devil Trigger is still one of the all-time legendary action game soundtrack songs, in my opinion. Really one of the most legendary video game songs, I think, and I think it's tremendous. The gameplay is great. A lot of great fights in the game as well. Not super lengthy. That's kind of what to expect out of a Devil May Cry game, but it is replayable, and you can go back, and it's a worthwhile game to go through multiple times, so $9.89 for this, really good as well. Next up, I want to give a shout out to an underrated game from last year, and that is Devolver Digital and Flying Wild Hogs' Trek to Yomi. It's 50% off for $9.99. Now, let's not get it twisted. This game's ultimate shortcoming was its length. This is a super, super short game that you can complete in one sitting. Legitimately, you can complete this game in like 3 to 4 hours. It's not lengthy at all, but the art style, the direction of this game is so great that from that standpoint, I think it is worthwhile. If you want something that's a little bit shorter in length, Trek to Yomi is a really, really immersive experience, and it's got that old, samurai movie style look going on for it. The black and white look looks great. There's some wild elements that are definitely thrown in there. The gameplay isn't blow away, but I think aesthetically, this was one of the best games of 2022. $9.99 is still a little bit more expensive than I would like. If this game was $4.99, I would say slam dunk, home run, pick it up. But, you know, $9.99 is still pretty decent. And I would say, if you're looking for something a little bit shorter, if you like the aesthetic style of Trek to Yomi, give it a look. You might be pleasantly surprised by it. Next up, we have Ori the Collection Bundle. This includes Ori the Blind Forest Definitive Edition and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. If you want to pick only one of them up, Blind Forest is $4.99, Will of the Wisps is $5.99. Fantastic Metroidvania games with tremendous art styles. Visually, they look great. Art direction is top-notch. Soundtrack is good. And on top of that, they have pretty solid stories as well. Gameplay is great. Just tremendous platforming Metroidvanias. For under $10 to get both of these games, they're sizable experiences for what they are as well. So I would say this is a great buy. If you haven't played those, definitely give them a look. Of course, they are available through Xbox Game Pass as well. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Syndicate, 75% off for $7.49. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is a game that I think is criminally underrated, and it's obvious to know why this game underperformed from a commercial standpoint. It came out the year after the abomination that was Assassin's Creed Unity, and Assassin's Creed as a franchise was kind of at a low point, but Syndicate turned out to be a really solid game. The open world is huge. I thought the traversal was well done. The main characters are engaging, and overall I really enjoyed the game, and I am a fan of the classic style of Assassin's Creed. Origins is on sale right now. If you want to go buy that, go buy it, but those games, like, I want to give those games like another shot to enjoy them, but they are such a grind fest for me that, like, I just can't enjoy them to that extent. But, you know, some people are into it. I myself, you know, the AC2s, the AC4s, the Syndicates of the world, those are the games that I'm really into, and for $7.49 I think Syndicate is a great buy. Next up, we got Final Fantasy XIII, 50% off for $7.99. Now, Final Fantasy XIII, for many people, is considered to be the black sheep of the Final Fantasy franchise. It's a game that a lot of people didn't really get into, but ultimately, I still thought FF13 was a good game. You just can't really go into it expecting a Final Fantasy game. Look, the game is incredibly linear, and, you know, that is a shortcoming for a lot of people, but I thought the gameplay style with all the paradigms and whatnot, I thought that was good. I thought the story was pretty good, and the game does open up towards the latter portion of the game. I would still give it a shot if you're a Final Fantasy fan. You might be pleasantly surprised given that the reception of this game has been rather negative through the years. Some people really did enjoy it, and I enjoyed it myself, and for this price of $7.99, I think it's a great pickup. Next up, Rise of the Tomb Raider. We have it 80% off for $5.99. Tremendous game. This, in my opinion, since the Tomb Raider reboot is the best title. Honestly, it's the best Tomb Raider game they've ever put out. It built upon all of the successes of Tomb Raider 2013, opened up the game, added more content, still had a compelling narrative. The gameplay was enhanced, and ultimately, you just got a fantastic action-adventure game. And I would give it a strong recommendation. Again, if you've never checked it out, $5.99. That's the 20-year celebration edition as well, including the season pass. So just a fantastic pickup. Definitely go check that out. It's a great action title. Next up, another great JRPG here, Valkyria Chronicles 4. We have it at 80% off for $9.99 for the complete edition. That includes a ton of bonus content that you probably want to get. Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a really good JRPG that, honestly, I think this is a good title to get into JRPGs because it doesn't have a lot of JRPG tropes. The gameplay style is totally different than a lot of other JRPGs with this tactics-based style that actually works pretty well. It can get pretty challenging, and the story is very engaging. So $9.99 for this. Again, also a sizable amount of content, especially with the complete edition. No-brainer there. I would give it a strong recommendation. Next up, great platformer here, Rayman Legends, 80% off for $6. A franchise that I think Ubisoft can do so much more with. Rayman Legends is such a visual delight, and if you're a fan of platformers, it's one of the best ones on the market, so definitely go check this out. Just great gameplay, and again, if you like platforms, this is a very well done one, and at $6, great buy there. Gotta give a shout to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, 60% off for $8. I am a sucker for the Danganronpa games. This is a game that I initially played on the PlayStation Vita. Yes, throwback to the Vita. And, like, I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't big into visual novels at the time. Still really, you know, it's not my genre of choice, but I can enjoy them a little bit more than I used to. This game is such an engaging narrative. It is super off the wall. It is super zany, but give it 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, and I guarantee you it's going to hook you from a narrative standpoint, and that's why you're getting into this game, from a narrative standpoint. It's so hard to describe this game's story. It's a murder mystery. with a lot of twists and turns, but great execution all around. I think for $8, it's such a good buy. If you're looking to get into VNs, if you like that more wacky Japanese style presentation, I think, you know, for $8, this is a great deal. I would give it a look. Next up, Hellblade: Senua Sacrifice, 75% off for $7.49. Incredible atmospheric psychological action game. I remember when this game was announced and I first saw gameplay, I really didn't know what to expect out of this game. Like, the gameplay didn't look great, but then the game came out and it turned out to be such an immersive experience, incredible from a narrative standpoint, and the game isn't super lengthy, so you can buy it, go through it, and then, you know, move on with your life and move on to the next game. Hellblade 2, of course, is in development, rumored to be released in 2023. We gotta see if that comes to fruition, but this is a tremendous game that for $7.49 is great. Obviously available through Xbox Game Pass as well. And that is going to do it for me. Again, a ton of game deals under the price of $10. Just a lot of great stuff right now. Links to everything, as always, in the description box below. These are all available directly on Steam, so have a look at all of them. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.